With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. He finds an opening past the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Armstead in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. The first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll be brought down. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Eric Armstead. In there to get him for his second sack of the night. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now Wilson, flushed out right. Now he'll let this one go deep, right sideline. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now it's Lockett. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. A carry now for McKissick. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that first run.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now he'll escape to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Right there in coverage, the veteran Cam Chancellor.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Oh, Gold missed it. It's no good. Wide to the left, off the mark, and this score will stay right where it is. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out, it's not the case.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And his pass incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. 3rd down here.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing is Wilson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And this will be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. His throw incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson rolling to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw is Wilson. To throw on 2nd down. Being chased. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to be 49er football. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He sets to fire into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. So we have reached halftime. What a weird one. A safety is all we have through 2 quarters. 2-0 the score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown.
Touchdown, 49ers! Jerick McKinnon, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He can't get him down. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Over the middle to Garcon. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Garoppolo now. Just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. McKinnon. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. Garoppolo, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Wilson now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They go play action with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former Seahawk and former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith, coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they're on the board now. It's 15-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there, and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Garoppolo looks to throw. Got some room at the 30. Man open. It's Goodwin. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
4 down. Here we go. My 20.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold to add the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run once more with McKinnon. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Gold missed it. It's no good. Wide right for Gold, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Reuben Foster picks it, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. It's complete to Jerome Brown. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
We call that a sack flush.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the gun, it's Wilson. That escapes the sack. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Throwing is Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Reuben Foster in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to really win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
So they get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. This is Breida. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They needed 15. They got 16 and a 1st down. Garoppolo now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Here again is McCammon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
12, fellas, here we go. 180!
Here's McCannon. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
4 down, 4 down.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the 49ers, the win moves them to